Greetings, Dandelions! Welcome to the brand new Dandelion Yoga virtual studio. We are currently in my garage right now, so even though it's new, it's not very fancy, nor is it very finished. So please bear with me. I'm hoping that having a slightly longer room will kind of give me a little bit more freedom of movement so that I am not constantly in danger of giving myself a black eye on the doorknob. And if it works out well enough, then we'll be turning this into a proper yoga studio. And I'll paint the wall behind me a lovely color and tidy up some of the oddities of the appearance of the wall. But that is a future project. Today we are going to talk a little bit about grounding. So we'll go over a little bit of yoga hygiene. It doesn't come with a practice, we're just talking about yoga philosophy. So go ahead and grab yourself a cup of tea and then meet me on your mat. When we talk about yoga hygiene, we're talking about things that you should habitually include in your general yoga routine. In the same way that brushing your hair and brushing your teeth are things that you should habitually do as part of waking up in the morning. So we're looking at small portions of your yoga practice that you might be tempted to skip until you get used to them. And then over time, they become integral to your overall experience on your mat. When we talk about grounding, we're talking specifically about the first few moments that you are down on your mat. Those moments where you find your seat, maybe you put your hands to your belly or bring your hands to your thighs, and you're asked by your yoga teacher to find your breath. And that is grounding. Those are those few precious moments before we begin moving where you can consciously consolidate all of your thoughts for the day and put them over to one side. And this is a hugely important thing for you to be doing before you come down to your mat and before you start your actual asana practice, your movement from one pose to the next. There are a couple of reasons for this. First and foremost, you are creating space in your mind, putting the rest of your day aside, whatever your to-do list is, whatever problems or challenges you faced earlier in the day, or whatever problems you anticipate you're going to have later in the day. And you're putting them off to one side and telling yourself that right now, those aren't your issue. That's not for you to be thinking about. So you're leaving your past, you're leaving your future, and you are physically, consciously placing yourself in the present. And this is why we focus on the breath, because breathing happens in the present moment. You cannot take a breath for tomorrow. You cannot catch up on your breathing from yesterday. It is something that happens right now, in the present moment, no matter what you do. So you bring your awareness to your breath, and then you start to make conscious choices about the breathing in order to prepare your mind for making conscious choices throughout the rest of your practice. The second thing that grounding is incredibly useful for is giving you a solid baseline for where you're sitting in your physical body before you start. So in addition to bringing the awareness to the breath, starting to deepen the breath, putting your thoughts aside, and committing to focusing on the present moment, you are also doing just a little bit of a sweep through the body. You're looking for points that are a little bit sore. You're looking for evidence that maybe the last time you did yoga, you overworked a particular muscle group. Or maybe it's been a long time since you've practiced and you're coming back and you notice that your body is feeling a little bit differently from the last time that you came onto your mat. So grounding, those first few moments are really your opportunity to become reacquainted with the reality of your body and to acknowledge, hey, my hips kind of are a little bit stiff today, or God, my neck is sore, or even, I have a headache coming on. And each of those things that you notice will help you to inform your practice. If you go straight into your practice and you go into your deepest crescent lunge before you've assessed your body, there's a possibility that you're going to hurt something because you haven't brought your awareness through the whole body. You haven't focused on what's feeling good, what isn't feeling good, and what do I need to be mindful of throughout my practice. My advice when it comes to grounding is to give yourself 3 to 5 minutes to settle yourself down, to focus on the breath, and to really sweep your awareness through your body. Now, if you are practicing yoga every day, or if you're practicing yoga maybe more than once a day, your instances of grounding might be a little bit shorter because you're a little bit more familiar with where your body is. On the same token, you might find that sometimes you need more than 5 minutes just to put away whatever you've accidentally brought to your mat with you. I know that there were plenty of times when I was teaching in secondary school that I would come to my mat, and despite the best laid plans of mice and men, it would take 5 to 8 minutes for me to actively put away everything that had happened that day and to bring myself into the present moment. So when you're sitting in your favorite seated position, once you have keyed into the breath, you're following the inhale and the exhale, you want to make sure that the mind is focused on where you are, what you're doing. Usually this is where your yoga teacher would say, set an intention for your practice, but that's totally not necessary. You can ground and set a generic, I am here, as your intention. I'm here paying attention to my body. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you just a little bit of insight into what grounding is and why your yoga teacher insists on everybody coming down to the mat and taking a few moments to breathe. Let me know if you want to have more videos like this on more yoga hygiene. Also, let me know if you're having trouble with grounding, if there's something that I didn't cover in this video, and let me know as well if there are other terms, other phrases, other practices that you've come across that just don't make sense to you. In the meantime, I ask that you please like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you click the notification icon as well so that I can use all of your delicious comments to make delicious videos, and then you will be notified when those come up. Until then, we'll bring our hands to our heart, thumbs to the third eye, reminding us to have kind and loving thoughts, to our lips, reminding us to have kind and loving words, to our heart, reminding us to have kind and loving intentions. Take a moment just to bow and to acknowledge that you came here today. And then I want to thank you so much for coming.